This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
Notice for San Diego, Jose Arcia at second base. Roberto Pena at shortstop. Ollie Brown in right. Al Ferrara in left. Nate Colbert at first. Van Kelly at third. Jerry Morales in center. Chris Canizero catching. And Al Santorini is the pitcher. For the Dodgers, Maury Wills at short. Manny Mota in left. Willie Davis in center. Wes Parker at first. Willie Crawford in right. Bill Sudeikis at third. Tom Haller catching. Ted Sizemore at second. And Bill Singer to do the pitching. The umpires Pryor at the plate. Benson, Sikori, and Davidson on the bases. First game of the series, the Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers have won 5 of 6 with the Padres here, 9 of 15 on the full season. We'll be underway with tonight's game in a moment. Now here is our national anthem. A few moments now, and we'll check the scoreboard before the Dodgers go out. They're in the 9th inning of the second game of a doubleheader at Pittsburgh. The Mets won the first game 1-0. The Mets are leading the second game 1-0. And boy, they're trying to double dip a hard-hitting ball club twice, 1-0, and that's really a tough job. Don Cardwell is working in the second game. First game, the Mets won it 1-0 as Kuzman pitched a 3-hitter and drove in the winning run. The Cardinals have had to make a pitching change in the 8th inning against the Cubs at St. Louis. And now the Dodgers take the field. In the game at St. Louis, Chicago won. St. Louis won, but as we told you, Horner has come in to relieve Taylor in the 8th. So the Cubs now trying to snap an 8-game losing streak. The Mets have won 8 straight. Atlanta beat Houston 4-3, saving off a 3-run rally by Houston in the 8th inning. Stone the winner and Griffin the loser, and Stone had a home run in the 7th inning, 1 on, and it turned out to be the margin in the ball game. So hitting pitchers tonight, the story. Kuzman drove in the winning run to beat Pittsburgh, and Stone drove in 2 runs with a home run to beat Houston. San Francisco and Cincinnati will play at San Francisco, and we'll keep you up to date on that one with a play-by-play report from Candlestick Park. Arrigo and Marichal. Arrigo 2-6, Marichal 17-10. Meanwhile, in the game that means nothing, Montreal beat Philadelphia 4-0. American League doubleheader, first game 3-1 in favor of Seattle over California, and in that game, another hitting pitcher, George Burnett, hit a home run in the 2nd inning with none on. Final scores are in. Baltimore beat Cleveland 2-1. Washington beat Detroit 4-3. Boston and New York split the doubleheader. New York won the first game 5-3. Boston the nightcap 4-3. Kansas City and Minnesota, it is 3-0. Minnesota leading in the 8th inning. And Oakland leads Chicago 12-4 in the 9th inning. So we're about set. Bill Singer tried to get number 19 tonight. Did not make it his last time out against the Padres, but he beat Atlanta in the first game of that series on Monday. So Singer will be ready to go here against the Padres in the first game of this series. Time to play ball. The Dodgers in San Diego from beautiful Dodger Stadium. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. And here we go again. another chapter in the Wild West show in the National League. And it'll be Jose Arcia to start it off. It'll be followed by Roberto Pena and Ollie Brown. Arcia, rangy right-hand hitting second baseman, enjoyed a fine series against the Dodgers, as did just about the entire ball club. Arcia does not have any kind of a flossy batting average. He's hitting only 196. However, he's had some timely base hits. Bill Singer starts him with a fastball that's rolled down to Sizemore. Ted picks it up and throws him out. So one pitch and one away, and the ball game officially underway. And the batter will be Roberto Pena. The Chicago Cubs were struggling. They were trailing 1-0 at the end of 6 innings. They got a run in the 7th inning to tie, and now in the 8th, the Cubs have gotten 4. So they're leading the Cardinals 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Meanwhile, Tug McGraw has had to come in and pitch the 9th inning of the second game at Pittsburgh. Here's Pena. He's a hot hitter. He takes a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Roberto Pena hitting .240 with 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. Hit a 2-run home run in Cincinnati. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball hits the right field. Crawford comes in right there now and makes the catch. So 2 down, and here's the right fielder, Ollie Brown. Ollie has had a bad back. He's all right now. Ollie Brown hitting .257. He has 18 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Bill Singer on the rubber, into the windup and delivers. Fastball high and away, ball 1. Singer in quest of his 19th. Claude Osteen reached that plateau last night. Singer comes right back to the plate, 1-0. Fastball low, ball 2. Paul Pryor, the plate umpire. Tony Venzen at first, Frank Sikori at second, Dave Davidson at third. First game of the weekend series with the San Diego Padres. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball hit off Singer's right leg. Caroms over towards the third base foul line and no play. In fact, they might have gotten him more on the foot than the leg. A shot struck him on the right leg. So Ollie Brown is safely aboard. Singer has not even bothered to rub. So he's a fortunate young man. Apparently he's okay. And the batter will be Al Ferrara. Line drive that struck Singer on the right leg. Bill now walking back up to the top, and he is now starting to hurt a little bit. It got him, I think, just below the ankle. I think it struck him, but it happened so fast on the right foot. And after getting back up to the mound, he realized that now the numbness has gone and the pain is settling in. And so Singer struck by the line drive off the bat of Ollie Brown and time out. Bill Bueller ministering to him now. Parker Sizemore and manager Walter Olson also out there. And Bill now trying to walk it off. As a right-hander, naturally, that is the push-off foot, and he's going to practice it right now. Singer says, I'm all right. Okay, that's good enough. So Bill stung by the line drive for a base hit. Makes one practice toss and says he's okay. Al Ferrara hitting .271 with 13 home runs, 53 runs batted in. So Ferrara checks in with Ollie Brown at first base. Brown has stolen 7 bases, and the first thing Singer does is drive him back with a toss. Singer at the belt, and Bill delivers. Breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Al Ferrara. Al, strong right-hand batter. Singer set another look at Brown. Back with a fastball. In there for a strike, 1-1. Bill Singer came home ahead of the ball club yesterday. The Dodgers arriving about 2:30 this morning from Houston. Play now through Thursday, and then go back out on the road. 1-1 pitch. Slow curve is fouled away, and they count 1-2. The Dodgers go quickly on their last road trip after this homestand. They go to San Francisco and Cincinnati, and that will be that. They come home and dig in for the final homestand of the year. And then we'll see, or will we? 1-2 to Al Ferrara. Singer delivers. Brown goes. It's swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Al Ferrara strikes out. And in the first inning, no runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of half an inning, Padres nothing, and the Dodgers coming out. You know, it wasn't long ago when the Dodgers were known as the Bums, and they went to some ridiculous extremes during that nickname. A Dodger outfielder was once hit on the head by a fly ball, they tell us, and oh, the shame when 3 Dodger runners ended up on third base at the same time. Yes, fans still remember that famous Dodger who obliged the crowd by tipping his hat, and the bird flew out of it. Who was that? Sure, Casey Stengel. But today there's a new team, and there's a new way to enjoy Dodger excitement. Fans are discovering that a good time is more thrilling with the chilling refreshment of Schlitz malt liquor. You just can't outscore the bolder, brawnier performance of the drink inspired by a bull. Schlitz malt liquor. Aged longer with more hops and malt. So anytime the action picks up, be sure to pick up a can of Schlitz malt liquor. There isn't a better way to beat a thirst. And believe us, the word is out. Nobody makes malt liquor like Schlitz. Nobody. Bottom of the first inning will set San Diego defensively. Right-hander Al Santorini on the mound and Chris Canizero behind the plate. The infield, Nate Colbert at first, Jose Arcia at second, Roberto Pena at short, and Van Kelly at third. In the outfield, Al Ferrara in left, Jerry Morales in center, and Ollie Brown in right. For the Dodgers, it'll be Maury Wills, Manny Mota, and Willie Davis. Well, the New York Mets did what most folks would figure to be impossible. In a doubleheader at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, they shut out the Pirates twice, 1-0. And you have really got to have some strong arms to do that to Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's exactly what they have. Jerry Kuzman in the first game pitched a 3-hitter. Don Cardwell and Tug McGraw pitched a 5-hitter. So the Mets throw a double shutout at the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Identical score of 1-0. That's got to be one of the pitching feats of the year. One of the stronger feats to match that, the Dodgers had back-to-back shutouts in Crosley Field against Cincinnati. Maury Wills at the plate and takes the strike. Maury with a modest hitting streak of 11 straight. Maury hitting left-handed. Batting .279, takes the strike. 0-2. Al Santorini, one of the fine young pitchers in the league. And boy, there are a lot of young pitchers. Good ones. Clay Kirby pitched a dandy the other night in Cincinnati. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the way. Outside, ball 1, 1-2. Dodgers know all about Gary Ross. They saw him in this series. 1-2, the count to Maury Wills. Dodgers have won 9 of 15, 5 out of 6 here. Of course, they were tripped in San Diego. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball, hit to left field, 12 straight games for Maury Wills. Well, that'll bring up Manny Mota. Manny Mota, who has been having his problems with his elbow, and it is therefore reflected in his batting average, still hitting .326. Wally Moon is now moving Jerry Morales more towards right center than left center. And Mota now at the plate. Santorini looks over at Wills, checks and delivers, and a pitch inside. Mota trying to get around the bunt. Had to get out of there, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Wills takes his lead. Santorini checks him as he bluffs and doesn't go. The pitch to Mota, breaking ball for a strike, and the count 1-1. Wills has stolen 39 bases. He's been caught 14 times. Just the start of the ball game, bottom of the first inning, but they're all big from here on in. Santorini ready. The pitch to Mota, fouled away with a full swing, and the count 1-2. Dodgers here over the weekend with San Diego, then Monday night, Cincinnati. Tuesday night, a twilight night doubleheader with the Reds. Wednesday and Thursday nights with the Atlanta Braves. 1-2 to Manny Mota. Santorini decides you better drive Wills back to the bag. Wills, who very likely would be a spearhead attack for the Dodgers. In the month of September, he has always played exceptional ball in September. Santorini has a look at him, and there he goes. Mota hits a slow ground ball to Nate Colbert, and the first baseman goes to the bag, and Wills advances to second base. Here's Willie Davis. Willie Davis was pretty well stopped in the ballpark in which he figured to be successful. Houston. Cincinnati up at Candlestick Park. We'll watch that game carefully. Arrigo and Marichal. Willie rolls one slowly up along first base. Santorini throws him out, and Wills takes third. Jerry Arrigo and Juan Marichal at Candlestick, and the Reds failed to score in the first inning. That'll bring up Wes Parker. Wes Parker has been fighting a slump. In fact, he really went into the slump when the Dodgers left home and went to San Diego. Wes hoping now that back home he'll shake loose, and he fouls the first one back. 0-1. In case you joined us a little late, Maury Wills singled, and 2 outs later he's at third base. Santorini checking with Canizero. Kelly right near the bag at third. Strike one pitch to Parker. Ground ball wide at first. Colbert up with it. Feeds to Santorini, and that's it. No runs, 1 hit. A man left, and at the end of 1, no score. When a ball player spends more time than usual in the minor leagues, you often hear the expression, well, they're bringing him along slowly. Well, Farmer John brings his hams along slowly, too. When he smokes his hams, he just won't be hurried. No, indeed. He smokes them slowly and patiently, not just for a couple of hours, but for several days. And he does the smoking a secret, old-time Western way, over native Western wood. So there's a genuine flavor of the West in every sweet, succulent slice, slice after slice. Farmer John ham is as fresh as you can buy, too. It's made from fresh eastern corn-fed pork, brought out here live and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other packers ship their pork in frozen or cold storage. So get a Farmer John ham soon. And if you can't tell which of the hams in the meat department are from Farmer John, ask the butcher. Farmer John ham, gold medal winner at the California State Fair. It's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor. To the second inning here at Dodger Stadium. No score in the ball game. The Padres and the Dodgers. Checking scores of other ball games, Montreal shut out Philadelphia 4-0. The New York Mets have now won 9 in a row, sweeping a doubleheader from the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh. Each game, the score 1-0. Meanwhile, the Cubs are leading 5-1 in the bottom of the ninth at St. Louis, but they figure to lose at least a half a game anyway. Atlanta beat Houston 4-3. It is 4-1, Seattle leading California at the end of 8 in the first game. Minnesota beat Kansas City 3-0. Oakland over Chicago 12-4. Baltimore beat Cleveland 2-1. Washington over Detroit 4-3. And Boston and New York split a doubleheader. The first pitch, inside, ball 1 to first baseman Nate Colbert. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Hit to the hole, it's short. Backhanded by Wills. A long throw. Get him. Oh, what a play. Maury Wills. who has always played sensational ball in the month of September. Even way back in his rookie year with the Dodgers, 1959, he was the spearhead in the attack that gave the Dodgers the exciting playoff victory, pennant, and championship. He had 345. So Will, playing great ball, throws out Colbert, and the batter is Van Kelly, who takes outside, ball one. In the Mets doubleheader, it should be pointed out, Jerry Kruzman drove his only run of the year to win the first game 1-0. Don Cardwell, who was a good hitting pitcher, drove in the only run in the nightcap. So the pitchers did it both ways, and the Mets swept the doubleheader by the identical scores of 1-0. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way to Van Kelly. High, ball 3-0. By the way, to all of our Jewish friends who might be listening, a very blessed and sacred Rosh Hashanah to you. The high holidays begin today. To be terminated on Yom Kippur. The pitch high to Kelly, ball 4. So our best wishes to all of you. There's a walk to Kelly and the batter, Jerry Morales, the center fielder.
Number 32. Center fielder, Julio Morales.
Julio, or players call him Jerry, hitting .231. He has 1 home run. He hit it the other night in Cincinnati. Right-hand batter. The Dodgers saw him briefly in San Diego. He was used as a pinch runner for Al Ferrara and finished up a couple of games. But Nate Colbert has made out Kelly walked, and now here is Morales. The outfield, Ollie Brown has had a sore back, but he's okay. Clarence Gaston has a bad foot, and Morales is playing in center tonight. Willie Mays hit into a double play in the first inning, so the Giants failed to score, and at the end of 1 at Candlestick, no score. Meanwhile, the Cubs beat the Cardinals 5-1, but they still lose a half a game since the Mets swept the doubleheader. Singer delivers. Morales bunts foul up along first. The total for the Cubs, 5 runs, 9 hits. The Cardinals, 1 run, 7 hits. Bill Hands won his 17th. Chuck Taylor lost it. 0-1, the count to Jerry Morales. Chris Canizero on deck. Sudeikis on the grass at third. Singer looks to first, works Morales tight. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one, the count to Morales. Right-hand hitting center fielder. Singer throws to first base, not in time. No score. Second inning, just the start of the ballgame. 1-1 pitch on the way. Morales drives it to deep right center field. It's hooking away from Davis, and it's going to go against the wall. Willie plays the count. Here's Kelly on his way around third. The throw to Haller is over his head. Goes all the way to the backstop. To third base goes Morales, and San Diego leads 1-0. Ted Sizemore made the long throw and sailed it high over Tommy Haller's head. An accurate throw might have had him. At least it would have been a close play. But neither Haller nor the backup man Singer could even touch the ball as it hit the backstop screen. Sizemore will get an error, allowing Morales to go to third. So San Diego leads 1-0. And the batter will be Chris Canizero. The infield is up with 1 out. The squeeze is on. The bunt is right through Singer. Picked up by Wills, who throws to first to Sizemore for the out, but the run is over. So they squeezed it right by the charging Singer, and the play goes 6-4. So Canizero, on the sacrifice, gets Morales home, and it is 2-0. And a run batted in for Canizero. Singer hoped to charge and push the ball to Haller, but he never came close to the ball. Well, alertly, Wills was able to go behind the mound to throw out Canizero. But Canizero squeezed in a run against the Dodgers in San Diego, and he comes right back to do it again. A little surprised that he was able to do it on the first pitch. So the batter is Al Santorini, and he takes low, ball one. 2-0, San Diego in the second inning. Singer ready and delivers. Fastball for a strike. 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball over. Strike two. 1-2. Two runs on a walk, a double, a throwing error, and a squeeze. The 1-2 pitch to Santorini fouled away with a full swing off first base upstairs. Still 1-2. Santorini hits another foul out of play off to the right. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. That error by Ted Sizemore was a bit of a jolt to the Dodger defense because the defense is held up. They had made only 2 errors in their last 10 games. Here's the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball high. The Dodgers rank second in the league, fewest errors, back of Atlanta. The Dodgers have gotten fine defense, good pitching, and they have stopped hitting. It's as simple as that. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Al Santorini. Fastball inside, ball 2. Santorini has 7 hits this year, including 1 home run and 2 runs batted in. 2-2 pitch. Al swings and misses. That's that. That, however, means 2 runs for San Diego. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error. At the end of an inning and a half, the Padres 2 and the Dodgers nothing.
Camp West Industries, located at 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, is camper headquarters in the valley. It's the home of Tramper Camper, the quality-built camper that offers more for your camper dollar. And the beautiful Travette, the Cadillac of campers. Camp West features many accessories for your camper. In fact, everything that goes in, on, or around the camper. If the call of the desert, a rushing stream, tall pines, and the outdoors is your pleasure, a camper is the answer. Build your own. Camp West Industries has everything you need to do just that. But whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or prefer the ready-made type for quality campers and camper accessories, the place to see is Camp West at 2802 Grand Avenue. Easy to get to, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway on Grand Avenue. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. So before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer. For quality, price, and service, that's Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix.
Bottom of the second inning, San Diego leading the Dodgers 2-0. Dodgers will have Willie Crawford, Bill Sudeikis, and Tom Haller. The Reds went out in order in the second inning of the Candlestick, so they're scoreless there in the bottom of the second inning. Jerry Owego and Juan Marichal. Here's Willie Crawford. Willie hitting .252. He has 9 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Al Santorini ready, and the first one a strike in at the knees, edge of the corner. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Willie Crawford. Santorini comes right back, and the breaking ball is swung on and missed. Strike 2. Al Santorini. When you are in Atlanta, as the Dodgers were recently, and you mention the name Santorini, all they do is shake their head. He's the boy who had the bad arm operated on. They never expected him to be drafted. Strike 2 pitch, hit on the hands, a 1-hopper to short, backhanded by Pena, who throws Crawford out. Bill Sudeikis coming up. Sudeikis hitting .235 with 14 home runs, 53 runs batted in. The Dodgers have not been able to score more than 2 runs since their last home game, when they pulled it out against the Mets in the 9th inning and won the game 5-4. Santorini delivers, and the first one low and inside. Sudeikis started his swing and held. The Padres appeal, and the plate umpire checks, and now it's a strike. Pryor looked to third base umpire Davidson, who flashed the sign that Sudeikis had committed himself. 0-1. Santorini into the windup, and the strike one pitch on the way. There's a curve in the dirt right through the legs of Canizero to the backstop. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one to Bill Sudeikis. Pitch over for a strike, and the count 1-2. Santorini checking with Canizero. 1-2 pitch is hit off the hands, rolled down to second base. Arcia drops the ball as Pena falls down in front of him to give him a throwing area. Pena went across the bag and then realized he would be in the way of a throw, so he just fell down. But Arcia was unable to come up with the ball. It'll go as a base hit for Sudeikis, and the batter will be Tom Haller. Let's force the station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
For a year-round selection of the finest in women's fashion offered with a full range of accessories, visit GG Lingerie Incorporated, 18 East Camelback Road, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank America card.
ATAR Phoenix.
Here's Tom Haller. Right-hander Santorini delivers outside, ball 1. Haller hitting .263. He has 5 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Nate Colbert not holding Sudeikis. They don't expect Bill to do any base running right now. The pitch to Haller is low. Ball 2. 2-0. For the Dodgers, game number 134. Home game number 68. Here's a 2-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 2-1. In fact, that can't be right. It's game number 142. The pitch inside to Tommy Haller. Ball 3. Three and one. 3-1 pitch to Haller, fouled away. Full count to Tom Haller. Ted Sizemore on deck. Right-hander Santorini ready. There goes Sudeikis, and the pitch is slowly to the left of the mound. Santorini will throw Haller out, and holding at second base, Sudeikis. So the Dodgers kind of nubbing the ball so far against Santorini, and the batter will be Ted Sizemore. Ted Sizemore has been playing great ball at second base. He has hit safely in 23 of his last 30 games for a .371 average during that period. Sizemore's average overall, .274. 2 down. Sudeikis at second base. San Diego 2 and the Dodgers nothing. Here in the bottom of the second inning. Santorini's first pitch, a hard-breaking ball. Low and away, ball 1. Bill Singer on deck. Sizemore waiting. Santorini has a look, and back he comes 1-0, and it's a ground ball to short. Pena on his right knee to make sure it doesn't go through. Throws him out. So the Dodgers hitting ground balls, and they leave a man. And at the end of 2, San Diego 2. Then the Dodgers nothing.
Look up for the brightest when you travel the west. Look up to 76. Keep your eye on the number like the ball on the left. Look up to
up to 76 for certified service. It's your assurance that the work a Union 76 serviceman does on your car will be done right the first time. Your Union 76 certified service dealer is a professional when it comes to service because he's been given the kind of intensive training he needs to handle the routine jobs and emergency repairs that keep your car safely and surely on the go. He's been to school, studied advanced technical manuals, and he's passed rigorous exams to earn his certified service stripe. Now, who do you look up to for service?
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
The total through two, San Diego, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Dodgers, no runs, 2 hits, and an error. In the second inning, with 1 out, Van Kelly walked. Jerry Morales doubled him home. The throw by Sizemore as the relay man was high over the plate to the screen, allowing Morales to go to third, and then Canizero squeezed him over. So it's 2-0 San Diego. We go to the third. For more play-by-play, here's Jerry Dawkins.
All right, Vinny, top of the order now for San Diego. Arcia, Pena, and Brown coming on against Bill Singer. Singer 18-9 on the year, 1-1 with San Diego this season. So Bill finds himself 2 runs down now. The walk got him in trouble. Then he yielded the long double to Morales. Here's Arcia up now. He grounded out second to first his first time at bat. Right-hand batter waiting. And Singer now goes into the windup and his pitch on the way. Curveball is a little low. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Claude Osteen last night got his 7th shutout of the year. That's the tops on the staff. Sutton has 4. Singer has 2. And oddly enough, Singer has only 2, but he has a great earned run average. He has an earned run average of 1.94. So he just pitched a whole lot of games in which he's just allowed a run or 2. Foul ball out of play to the right. 1-1, but the shutouts keep avoiding Bill. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Arcia. Strike 2 on a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Dodgers 3 with the Padres, 3 with Cincinnati, including a doubleheader Tuesday, and then 2 with Atlanta to wind up this homestand next Thursday night. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Singer ready, delivers. Curveball bounced to third. Sudeikis scoops it up. Here's his throw in time, and 1 away. Arcia grounds out, 1 up and 1 down, and here's Pena, flied to right his first time at bat. Pena batting .240 with 4 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Stocky built right-hand batter, Roberto Pena. A swing and a miss to Roberto, strike 1. He's played in 125 games. Ollie Brown leads the Padres in games played with 133. Ferrara's played in 125. Here's the 0-1 pitch, low and inside with the fastball. The count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mets won a doubleheader. They've now won 9 straight, picked up another half game on the Cubs, who snapped an 8-game losing streak, beating the Cardinals 5-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count, and the Giants have picked up a run at Candlestick, and we'll give it to you in just a moment. A bouncing ball back to the middle into center field. It's a base hit for Pena, and that is hit number 3 for San Diego. Willie McCovey grounded out. Bobby Bonds struck out. Davenport walked. Wild pitch moved Davenport to second base. They walked Dick Deach. And Lanier singled to left field to drive in the run. So the Giants lead on 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and the big play was a wild pitch that set up the runner in scoring position, and then Lanier drove it in. Ollie Brown takes inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So the Giants at Candlestick now lead 1-0 over the Reds, who started tonight's play 1 percentage point ahead of Atlanta, and the Braves won from Houston 4-3. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch on the way inside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. In that game in Atlanta, Ron Stone, the pitcher, hit a home run that turned out to be the game winner. It came in the 7th inning with a man on it. It was the 4th run for Atlanta, and then he had to go out in the 8th inning when Houston came back with 3 runs. So tonight the story is hitting pitchers. Kuzman blanked Pittsburgh, drove in the run. Cardwell blanked Pittsburgh, drove in the run. Stone beat Houston and drove in 2 with his first Major League home run. Seattle beat California. Brunette hit a home run, and he was the winning pitcher. In the Boston-New York game, here's a pitch inside to Ollie Brown, ball 3. Brett was the winning pitcher, and Brett hit a home run. So that's 3 pitchers hit home runs tonight, and 2 others got big singles. Fastball high and tight, and Brown is on with a walk, and Singer's in trouble again. The second walk given up by Singer. Al Ferrara coming to bat now. Pena at second base, and Brown is at first base. Singer has a tender left elbow, and perhaps that's part of his problem. Ferrara, the batter, struck out his first time at bat. The Padres have scored 2 in the second, now have 2 on here in the third. Here's the look and the pitch to Ferrara. Long fly ball to left field, going back for his motor, still going back at the gate, makes the catch in front of the bullpen gate. Fires it quickly back in, and the runners hold on. Ferrara came close, about 6 feet away from a home run and about 2 feet away from an extra base hit. So Al, a long fly to left field. And here is Nate Colbert coming up. The Padres, of course, won 4 straight from the Dodgers in San Diego last weekend and went to Houston for 2 and were clobbered there. They went to Cincinnati, though, and beat the Reds 2-1 and had them on the ropes last night before bowing. There's a fly ball to deep right field. Willie Crawford turns to go back on this one. At the track, still back, and makes the catch for the out about 3 feet from the fence. So Singer really not fooling them there in the third inning, but gets out of it. No runs, 1 hit, and there were 2 left on. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play, Padres 2 and the Dodgers nothing.
A bright day, so comfortable, just right for a comfortable deal. Fresh hay, so light and cool, that burden is comfortable deal. Say Boogie and you say, hey, there's a comfortable kind of deal.
More and more people are finding that out about Burgie. That Burgie's comfortable, as fresh and easy to drink as the soft water it's brewed with. Burgie's got great taste every ice-cold time. Pick up some Burgie, a comfortable kind of beer.
The right day for Burgie, it's a comfortable kind of beer.
Now to the last half of the third. Singer Wills Moda coming on as the Dodgers trail to the Padres and Al Santorini by a score of 2-0. Santorini, a 1-2 record, beat the Dodgers last Sunday in San Diego. He lost at San Diego 2-1 on April the 29th. Was the losing pitcher 3-1 at San Diego on June 29th. And then was the winning pitcher 4-2 at San Diego. So he's pitched well every time against the Dodgers. Here's Singer at bat now. The windup by the right-hander. Pitch is a little high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. The game in the third. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. In for a strike to Singer, 1-1. And at San Francisco, the Giants leading 1-0 through 2 innings of play. Marichal against the Regal in that one. Here's the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Still, it's a pop-up on the right side. Arcia going back on the grass, coming in as the right fielder Brown. Brown calls, makes the catch. So Singer out on a pop fly to Ollie Brown in shallow right. 1 away, and the batter will be Maury Wills. Wills singled to left field to open the game for the Dodgers and arrived as far as third on 2 infield outs. That's the first outfield putout, and it could have been handled by an infielder, as Arcia was out there but chased off by Brown. First fly ball out. So the Dodgers have not been stinging it very much against Mr. Santorini here tonight. Will's waiting. Kelly at third lays in on the grass. Here's the pitch to Morey. Breaking ball is just outside. Ball one. 1-0 the count. The Reds go down in the third inning. No runs and a hit. Tommy Helms led off, got a base hit. But Woodard struck out into a double play, and that retired the side. So at the end of 2.5 innings of play, San Francisco 1, Cincinnati nothing. 2 balls, no strikes to Morey. Will Santorini ready in the pitch. Takes a strike on a curve, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now again, the right-hander delivers. Strike 2 with a breaking pitch on the outside corner, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Will's waiting. Now the wind-up pitch by Santorini. Chopped away foul behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, still up to Morey. Two and two, Santorini back to the rosin bag for a moment. Will's waiting. Outfield shifts to the left against Morey. Swung on and foul tip in the dirt, and the plate umpire Pryor ruled that Canizera caught it on a bounce. Chris whirled around to hold the ball up, but Pryor said no, it was in the dirt. So a 2-2 count, still up to Wills. Santorini has not struck out a man, has not walked a man, and has allowed 2 base hits. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul away off third base behind the Dodger dugout. Count 2-2. Once again, Santorini to the windup. The pitch to Morey. Bounce toward shortstop. Pena waits for a big hop. Throw in time, and there are 2 outs. 2 up and 2 down, and Manny Mota, the batter, grounded out his first time up. So Santorini, as he did in San Diego, has the Dodgers hitting a lot of ground balls. His breaking pitch and his sinker. Mota waiting the pitch. Bunt try, fouled away. One strike to Manny Mota. On deck, Willie Davis. Santorini winds, delivers. Curve up high for a ball. One the count. Now the pitch. Mota hits a bouncing ball to third. Kelly goes wide of the line. Up with it. His throws in time, and the Dodgers go down 1-2-3. Another ground ball and the side out. 1-2-3 in the third inning. 3 up and 3 down on the score. At the end of 3, the Padres 2 and the Dodgers nothing.
Baseball, of course, is a seasonal game, but there's one pastime that goes on all year long. That's enjoying lean, luscious Farmer John bacon, fried up, crackling crisp for breakfast. It's a mighty popular pastime, too, because Farmer John bacon is the West's favorite. And one thing that accounts for its popularity is its very special flavor. A wonderful, wide-open Spaces Western flavor, too. Farmer John, you see, smokes his bacon the slow, patient, old-time Western way over native Western wood. So it has a flavor like no other bacon you can buy. You can always count on the freshness of Farmer John bacon, too. It's made from fresh Eastern corn-fed pork, brought out here live, then U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other pork is shipped in frozen or cold storage. So the next time you shop, bring home the bacon fresh from Farmer John. It won the gold medal at the California State Fair, and you'll agree it's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
All right, let's go along to the 4th inning of the ball game. Padres 2, the Dodgers nothing. More action. Back to Vinny.
Well, on the message board, happy birthday to Diane Brousseau, the Dodger secretary, of Vice President Bill Sweppy of the Dodger family. Now we go to the fourth inning with the Padres leading the Dodgers 2-0. Van Kelly, Jerry Morales, and Chris Cannizzaro in that order. Bill Singer, down by 2, looks in to get a sign, and the first pitch of the left-hand hitting Kelly is lifted back a shortstop. Will's out to get it. Coming in is Mota, and Morey makes the catch, going away. Morales coming up. He hit the shot up the alley in right center that cashed in Kelly. He took third on the overthrow, and then he was squeezed in by Cannizzaro. So Morales has been very important in this ball game as he comes up for a second at bat in the fourth inning. Singer into the windup. Bill delivers, and the fastball is high and tight, as you can get. And Morales sits down. So Singer flattened him. 1-0 the count. So they have been formally introduced now. And Singer ready, and back he comes. Fastball fouled away. Off to the right, out of play, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 4th, they have Davis, Parker, Crawford. Singer comes right back to the plate, 1-1, and the breaking ball is down and away, ball 2. 2-1 the count to Morales. Now the 2-1 pitch misses, ball 3. 3-1. Morales, right-hand batter. Bill Singer into the windup, and the 3-1 fastball is over. Strike 2. 3-2. Morales with 1 out in the 4th inning, and the Padres leading 2-0. Singer delivers, and it's looped to right field. A late start by Crawford, but he still has time to get there. So a little fly ball caught by Willie Crawford. 2 down in the 4th inning, and Chris Cannizzaro coming up. Cannizzaro squeezed in the run in the 2nd inning. It's the 2nd time he's done that to the Dodgers. He did it in the series in San Diego. So Cannizzaro, right-hand hitter. 2 out, 4th inning, 2-0 San Diego. Overhand curve is low, ball 1. 1-0. One-0 pitch, a strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Cannizzaro takes outside, ball 2. 2-1. Cannizzaro bends at the knees and at the waist. 2-1 pitch. Fastball over, strike 2. 2-2. The 16th meeting of the year between the two clubs. The Dodgers have won 9 of 15. 5 of 6 here. And, of course, this is the first game of the 3-game series. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball. Got him swinging. That'll do it. So the Padres are gone in the 4th at the end of 3.5. Padres 2, Dodgers nothing.
Mankind has always looked to Mother Earth as the one positive element from which all material benefits flow. He's fought for the land, worked for it, and died for it. Even today, the private ownership of land is one of the most highly respected rights in our American system. The purchase of a home represents for most families the largest single investment they ever will make. Yet, the exact nature of a person's right of ownership in a home and the various rights that others may have in that same home is a matter frequently misunderstood. Certainly, a person buying a home for the first time discovers that he's surrounded by many technicalities and complications that seem very confusing. Well, that's where the specialists at Arizona Title enter the picture. Their business is thoroughly investigating previous ownership records to assure you of a clear title. They want you to buy your home with complete confidence and peace of mind. The folks at Arizona Title know that the security of your home should be your first consideration. And theirs.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Padres leading the Dodgers 2-0. 2 runs, 3 hits for the boys from San Diego. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. Al Santorini has tied them up on ground balls through 3. And he'll be pitching to Willie Davis, Wes Parker, and Willie Crawford. The Giants, meanwhile, leading the Reds 1-0 at the end of 3. Atlanta won. They gave Houston a jolt. Atlanta beating Houston 4-3. That might have been a very demoralizing game for the Astros. They are so much the better ball club at home. And if perhaps in the waning weeks of the pennant race, if Houston had won their first road game, maybe they would think that perhaps they would revert. But it looks like, indeed, they will continue to have a poor road record. The pitch to Davis, high, ball 1. The Astros, who had won 50 games at home and only 25 on the road, lose tonight in Atlanta, 4-3. Davis waiting. He hit back to the box in the first inning. The 1-0 pitch to Willie is fouled away, and the count 1-1. Willie hurt his knee sliding into third base last night. He strained some ligaments. It's sore, but he feels as long as he can keep moving around, it won't stiffen up. He also feels with just a couple of weeks left, there's no sense resting for the senior prom, so he's in there. 1-1 to Willie Davis. Santorini ready and delivers. Breaking ball hit foul off third, down the line, back into the lower deck, and the count 1-2. Davis waiting, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Al Santorini trying to win his 8th. Right-hander ready, and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball outside. He's a Jersey boy out of the Braves organization. Had a serious arm operation. They said something like 13 chips were removed from his arm. Usually, after going under the knife, a pitcher loses some speed, but Santorini still has a good live arm. 2-2 pitch. Curve is fouled back and out of play. The number 1 relief man, along with Jack Bolton in the right-handed area in the bullpen, Frank Rehberger, is not here. He has to fulfill his military obligation. There's another young pitcher who figures to be of immeasurable help to the Padres in the years to come, Frank Rehberger. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Davis. Hit down the left field line, slicing foul out of play. Ferrara over to the railing, but that's all. So it's still 2-2 to Willie. If you didn't hear the scores today, then you didn't hear about the amazing Mets. They swept a doubleheader in Pittsburgh. They shut out the Pirates twice. They beat them 1-0 in each game. And to add insult to injury, the run in each game driven in by the Mets pitcher, Jerry Koosman and Don Cardwell. Now the pitch to Davis. Fastball, a big chopper to third, and it is a fair ball, and Kelly throws too late. Well, I'll tell you one thing. There can't be anything very much wrong about Willie Davis' knee, although he is limping now as he goes to first base. He went flying down the line, and in trying to get a little something extra, he might have hit the bag awkwardly. But, boy, from home to first base, he really let out. So Willie Davis, a high chopper to Van Kelly, and he beats it out, and he is bending that right leg, so he must feel some pain. So Davis at first, nobody out, and Wes Parker the batter. He had strained ligaments, and it might have just been that when he went to stretch to hit the bag that he felt a twinge of pain. Here's Parker, 0 for 1. Swings, doesn't get it. A throw to first. Willie back in, hands knees. 0-1, the count to Wes Parker. Wes is really in change right now. His average at 283, but he hasn't really had much of a game in quite a while. Certainly on the last homestand, he was fine, but as soon as the Dodgers left to go on the road, he hit a slump. 0-1, the count to Parker. Santorini checking signs. Davis held on by Colbert. And the pitch to Parker, swung on and missed. Another throw, and Willie back in ahead of it. 0-2. Willie very slow to get up. That right knee, perhaps, hurting him a little more as he had to go back twice head first. It also might be one reason why he's going back head first rather than try and hook slide where he'd have to bend the leg. Well, he takes his lead. Santorini ready. Strike two pitch to Parker. It's a ground ball to the hole and through into right field. Bad leg or not, Davis will go to third easily, and Brown will run the ball back to the infield. The ground ball just did get through by Arcia, and it was dying on the grass. So Ollie Brown had to come and get it, and Davis knew there was no play at third. Danny Ozark talking to Willie, who was rubbing his right knee, and of course that's the knee that he hurt last night. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Taking care of your car is the prime concern of the trained technicians at Ronnie's Auto Service, 101 East Camelback, Phoenix, where you could use your Arizona Bank, Bank AmeriCard.
ATAR Phoenix.
Willie Crawford, the batter. Runners at first and third, nobody out. Fourth inning, San Diego 2, the Dodgers nothing, and the Padres bullpen will get busy as Santorini delivers, and it's a line drive, base hit into center field. Parker to second base. Davis scores 2-1 San Diego, and Davis limping as he crossed home plate. Gary Ross gets up in the San Diego bullpen. Willie Crawford comes up with the third straight hit. Well, I tell you one thing, it's great to be home. There's spirit in the ballpark. Base hits by Davis, Parker, and Crawford for a run. The Padres leading 2-1, and here is Bill Sudeikis with nobody out. The question for the Padres to decide now, would Walter Alston have Sudeikis bunt? Haller on deck. Nate Colbert figures he's going to bunt. The first baseman is in front of Crawford. Van Kelly is about even with the bag at third. Nobody out. Sudeikis swings and a high fly ball to right field. Tagging Parker. Brown for the catch, and West is not coming on a great arm. The throw cut off by Pena. Ollie Brown with one of the strongest throwing arms in the league. And the Dodgers had Sudeikis swing, and he flied to right. All right, Tom Haller, the batter. Haller hit back to the box in the second inning. Padres 2, Dodgers 1, bottom of the fourth inning. Parker at second, Crawford at first, one away. Santorini reading Canizaro's signs. Pena bird-dogging Parker a little bit at shortstop. The right hand of Santorini's pitch. Haller fouls it to the screen. 0-1. To Tom Haller. Santorini ready, and here he comes. And the pitch low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-hander gets up down in the bullpen to join Gary Ross now. The Dodgers had Davis outleg a slow roll to the third. Parker rolled one into right field. Crawford a line drive base hit for the run. Dave Roberts, the left-hander, throwing in the pen. And the pitch tight to Haller, ball 2. 2-1. Preston Gomez and his 3 lieutenants, Sparky Anderson, Wally Moon, and Roger Craig, all up near the San Diego bat rack. 2-1 pitch to Haller is low, ball 3, and Santorini now has to make a couple of big pitches. Ted Sizemore on deck. 3-1 to Haller. Parker at second, Crawford at first, so they have speed out there. The runners do not go. The pitch is high. That loads them up. Roger Craig, the Padres pitching coach, going out to the mound to talk to Santorini. Craig just crossing the first base foul line. So Roger will chat with Santorini. We can use the time ourselves. Let's spend some of it and visit with Jerry.
All right, Vinny, here's the last of the 2-for-1 dates now available to Dodger fans. September 30th, a night game with the Astros. You get 2 tickets for the price of 1, 2 box seats for $350, 2 reserve seats $250. Order as many as you wish. Clip your special 2-for-1 blanks from one of these papers: Riverside Press Enterprise, Van Nuys News, or the Ventura Star Free Press. The date, September 30th, 2 for the price of 1 by mail only. All right, Vinny.
Okay, Jerry. Ted Sizemore is the batter. Bases loaded, 1 out, a run over in the 4th inning, and the Padres leading the Dodgers 2-1. Parker, Crawford, and Haller out on the lines. Sizemore grounded to short in the 2nd inning. Santorini from a stretch, and Teddy takes low, ball 1. The stretch might have been a suggestion from Roger Craig that it would improve his control. 1 ball and no strikes. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Ted looks low, ball 2. So suddenly Santorini, who had pitched 3 strong innings, hits a big bump in the road. He gives up 3 consecutive singles for a run, gets an out, and then walks a man to load the bases, and is now behind to Sizemore 2-0. Santorini's 2-0 pitch on the way. 1 hopper to Arcia. He's to Pena. He's to Colbert. Double play as if a coach hit it when the infield takes infield practice. A 1 hopper to the second baseman. 4-6-3 double play, and the Dodgers settle for a run on 3 hits and leave 2. The end of 4, Padres 2, Dodgers 1. Friends, quite a few Southern Californians are driving what they call a second car. It's usually not as big or as powerful as the family car, and therefore doesn't need the high octane of a premium gasoline. So what do they do when their second car needs a fill-up? Why, that's easy. They look up to 76 for 76 regular gasoline. 76 regular is everything to low compression engines that Royal 76 Premium is to the high compression jobs, which means that your smaller second car will deliver the same A1 all-around performance as the larger family car, which takes Royal 76 Premium. So, friends, if you're driving a smaller second car or even a small first car, stop into your Union Oil dealers and fill her up with the best 76 regular gasoline. Remember, when you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76. Through 4 innings, the Padres 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error. Battle between Bill Singer and Al Santorini. For the Padres, Santorini will start it off. He'll be followed by Jose Arcia and then Roberto Pena. As far as scores of other games are concerned, that other big one going on at Candlestick. The Giants leading Cincinnati 1-0 at the end of 4 innings. Jerry Arrigo and Juan Marichal. We get a report now that Cincinnati failed to score in the 5th inning. So at the end of 4.5 innings, it remains 1-0 San Francisco. Al Santorini, right-hand batter, he struck out in the 2nd inning. Singer into the windup delivers. Fastball low and away, ball 1. The Giants playing Cincinnati head-to-head, trailing the Reds by a half a game. Atlanta already won. The 1-0 pitch fouled right into Haller's mask, and the count 1-1. One and one to count to Al Santorini. Jose Arcia on deck. Singer into the windup in the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit right at Sizemore.
One away in the fifth inning. Arcia coming up. He's rolled out twice to second and third. Jose 0 for 2. Arcia waiting. Singer looks in to get a sign from Tyler. Now he's ready. And the breaking ball, half swing for a strike. And the count 0-1. Padres scored twice in the second inning. Morales doubled home Kelly. And then Canizero squeezed in Morales. The Dodgers had 3 hits for a run in the fourth inning. And we're now in the fifth. 0-1 the count. Singer delivers fastball over. Strike 2. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way outside. Ball 1, 1-2. Arcia then fouls the next one away, and it's still 1-2. One and two, the count Jose Arcia. He's still at the plate with 1 out in the fifth. Padres 2, Dodgers 1. One and two, the count Arcia. Singer into the windup. Bill ready, and the fastball high and away. Ball 2, 2-2. They're in the bottom of the fifth at Candlestick, 1-0 in favor of the Giants. Singer ready in the 2-2 pitch. Arcia swings and misses, strike 3. So Jose down on strikes. 2 out, and Roberto Pena, the right-hand hitting shortstop, coming up, flied to right and single to center. He's 1 for 2. Pena waiting. Singer into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball. Foul back out of play into the second deck just to the right of home plate. 0-1. On deck, Ollie Brown. Singer ready. Strike 1 pitch. Fastball high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Padres 2 in the second inning, Dodgers 1 in the fourth, and here we are in the fifth. 2-1 San Diego. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball just outside, ball 2. 2-1. Singer into the windup. Now the 2-1 pitch to Pena. Fastball over, strike 2. Roberto gesturing as if he thought the pitch was outside. 2-2 the count. Singer reading Haller. Now Bill ready. And the 2-2 pitch to Pena. Breaking ball popped in the air off to the right of the plate. Parker and Haller converge. Parker has the play, makes the catch, and that's that. So they're gone in order in the fifth, and at the end of 4.5, Padres 2, Dodgers 1.
You know, we get mail from folks who tell us that when they can't get out to watch the Dodgers in action, they enjoy listening to our play-by-play account of the game, Jerry.
Well, of course, the pleasure's ours, Benny, which brings to mind an important point we ought to make about Burgermeister beer.
Oh, what's that, Jeff?
Well, we tell our listeners a lot about what makes Burger the great beer it is, that it's salt water brewed to give it real beer taste.
True enough.
And that Burgie's the comfortable beer, the one that refreshes you right from the start and keeps on refreshing you, glass after ice-cold, comfortable glass.
Well, also true. So what are you getting at?
Just this. Listening to a ball game isn't the same as seeing it in person. Just as hearing about Bergie can't compare with tasting its ice-cold, comfortable goodness.
Ah, point well made, I'd say, Jer. So, folks, you don't have to take our word for it. The proof is in the tasting. Just bring home an ice-cold six-pack or two and get the whole comfortable story from Bergie. Bottom of the fifth inning with the Padres leading the Dodgers 2-1. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for San Diego. 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. Bill Singer, Maury Wills, and Manny Mota in that order. Now to Candlestick to report the Giants failed to score, so at the end of 5 up there, it's 1-0 San Francisco. All right, here's Singer. Santorini's first one on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Al Santorini. 1-2 at the Dodgers this year. Works one down and away and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maury Wills on deck. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Danny Ozark coaching at third. Jim Gilliam at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball high and outside. Ball 2. 2-2. Santorini's 2-2 pitch to Singer. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So down goes Bill, opening up matters in the 5th inning. For Santorini, his first strikeout. And the batter, Maury Wills. Wills is 1 for 2. Wills singled to left field in the first inning. Got around as far as third with 2 outs, but stayed there. Maury hitting left-handed against Santorini. And the pitch to him, low, ball 1. Van Kelly plays him on the edge of the grass. Colbert is up a step, and the outfield shades into left. Santorini's 1-0 pitch on the way. Line drive, face hit into left field. So Wills is 2 for 3. Roberto Pena came very close to backhanding that ball, just did miss it. So Wills aboard with 1 out, and Manny Mota the batter. Plate umpire Pryor wants to examine the ball, has a good look at it, and Paul will put a new one in play. Padres 2, Dodgers 1. Bottom of the 5th, 1 out and Wills at first. Santorini checks him, works Mota, a strike. 0-1. Santorini set at the belt. Another look over at Wills, and he decides you better drive him back with the throw to Colbert. Canizero flashing signs out behind the plate. Outfield playing Mota straight away, if anything, shaded to right. Pitch to Manny, curved down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Padres 2, Dodgers 1, bottom of the 5th inning. First game of the 3-game series. They're after each other tomorrow night and Sunday afternoon. Now the 1-1 pitch. Mota takes in the dirt. A nice save by Canizero. That thing was heading for the backstop. Ball 2. 2-1. Willie Davis on deck.
Wills, held on by Colbert, takes his lead. Mota waiting, and the 2-1 pitch. Wills goes. It's a high bouncer back to Santorini. The out at first as Wills moves into second base. So the Dodgers play hit and run, and Mota taps to the mound. 2 down, a tying run at second base, and Willie Davis coming up. Santorini has handled 3 balls back to the box. He's also had 1 foot out on a ground ball to the first baseman. So he's been pretty busy. The Dodgers basically beating the ball down into the ground. Only fly ball was hit by Sudeikis in the 4th inning. Willie takes low, ball 1. Canizero knocking the ball down. One ball, no strikes to Willie Davis. Santorini again straightens up, looks at second, and the 1-0 pitch. Change, poke foul up along third. Willie tried to drive that thing into left field, but he didn't get enough of it and just rolled it outside of third. 1-1. One and one to count. One and one to count to Willie Davis. Santorini delivers. Line drive to right. It's going to sink for a hit. Here comes Wills. That great arm of Brown throws very high. The run is in. Wills tripped and rolled over home plate to tie it up. So Willie Davis, a line single to right to tie it up, and Willie takes second on the throw to the plate. Will started to slide, and he's fortunate he didn't get hurt. He made an awkward slide, seemed to bounce and roll over home plate. So now here is Parker trying to pick up Willie Davis. Cincinnati failed to score in the 6th. So it's still 1-0 in favor of the Giants at the end of 5.5. Parker now at the plate. Santorini delivers the strike. On 1 to count to Parker. Santorini looks at Davis, works to West, breaking ball a little high. 1-1. So the Dodgers and Padres are all even at 2 apiece here in the bottom of the 5th inning. As Will singled, and a 2-out single to right by Willie Davis picks him up. Santorini's 1-1 pitch. A high chopper over the mound. Pena backs up, spears it on a bad hop, and throws him out. A nice play by the shortstop. That wasn't a very easy play to make. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. And at the end of 5, Dodgers 2, Padres 2. You know, most people would agree that the key man in baseball is the pitcher. And you know, in the wiener-making business, it's the man in charge of grinding, mixing, and spicing the meat. At Farmer John's Weenie Works, the man in charge is a true weenie genius. Farmer John brought him over from the old country just to head up his weenie making. This weenie genius makes Farmer John all-meat wieners a secret old world way, using only fresh eastern corn-fed pork and fresh, lean, juicy, homegrown beef. Then the weenie genius grinds the meat finely and spices it sublimely. Finally, Farmer John adds the magic touch by smoking his wieners over native western wood. So there's the genuine flavor of the West in every tender, tasty morsel. Farmer John all-meat wieners were the gold medal winners of the California State Fair, and no wonder, because they're not only all meat, but pure genius. So look for Farmer John all-meat wieners in the delicatessen section of your market. And if you don't see them, be sure to ask for them. Don't be shy. Step up and ask for Farmer John.
Through 5, a 2-2 tie. The Padres 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and the Dodgers 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Our centennial celebrity tonight can claim a 1,000 batting average in the World Series. As a member of the Boston Red Sox in '46, he singled twice in pinch hitting roles against the St. Louis Cardinals. At one time, our celebrity had 11 consecutive hits with the Coast League Angels in 1938. He piled up 216 hits that year. He had the most hits of anyone in the big leagues or the minors. He was named to the Coast League All-Star team 4 times, each time at a different position. We're talking about Glenn David Rip Russell, and the Ripper comes out on deck now and receives the plaudits of the crowd. So we're delighted to have him here with us tonight. Rip Russell, a fine ball player. So the Ripper has taken his bow. Red Adams comes over to say hello to him. And Ollie Brown now at the plate to say hello to Singer. And the pitch high, ball 1. Want to know the count to Ollie. He is singled and walked, 1 for 1. Singer delivers, fastball for a strike, 1-1. Ollie Brown has an arm like Clemente or A.G. You just get a thrill out of watching him throw. Boy, he can fire. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball, low, ball 2, 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way, hit on the hands and popped up. Parker comes in from first base on the grass, waiting, and makes the catch. So Ollie Brown pops up, 1 away, and Al Ferraro will be the batter. The end of 5.5 at Candlestick. The Giants are leading 1-0. Mets won a doubleheader. The Cubs won. Atlanta won. So Houston gets hurt tonight, and we'll find out about the Dodgers. The pitch to Al Ferraro, low, ball 1. Ferrara in the 3rd inning came up with 1 out and runners at first and second, and sent Manny Mota just about to the bullpen gate in left field for his long out. But out it was. The 1-0 pitch to Al, a high fly ball to left center. Willie Davis jogging in, is under it now, and makes the catch. Singer has settled down. He has retired 10 in a row since he walked Ollie Brown in the 3rd inning. Nate Colbert, right-hand hitting first baseman, rolled to short and flied to right. He's 0 for 2. Singer into the windup and delivers. Fastball, low, ball 1. 1-0. The next pitch missed, ball 2, 2-0. Now Singer into the windup. The 2-0 pitch outside, ball 3. Three and 0, the count to first baseman Nate Colbert. Singer's fastball to strike, 3-1. Colbert has Sock. You have to be careful of him. Nate has 18 home runs, 52 RBIs. Now the 3-1 pitch. He drives it to left field and deep. Back goes Mota to the base of the wall. It's gone. So Nate Colbert, who has the sock, stopped it. Line drive into the left field bleachers, and the Padres lead 3-2. For Colbert, his 19th home run of the year, his 53rd run batted in. And the batter will be Van Kelly, the third baseman. That's only the 4th hit allowed by Singer, but the Padres getting the maximum out of 4 hits. They have 3 runs. Pitch to Kelly, a strike. 0-1 to Van. Singer comes back to him, and Kelly has to pull away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The next one is inside. The Padres have now hit 10 home runs against the Dodgers this year. It's the 3rd home run that Nate Colbert has hit against the Dodgers. Now the 2-1 pitch to Van Kelly. Foul back, 2-2. Bill Singer has been haunted by the home run ball all year. And that one turns out to be the 21st home run that he's allowed. 2-2 pitch to Van Kelly is a ground ball to Sizemore. Up with it at the belt buckle and throws him out. A run on a hit, a home run by Colbert. At the end of 5 1/2, Padres 3, Dodgers 2.
Christown TV and the Christown Shopping Center, 19th Avenue and West Bethany Home Road, presents from Magnabox, a new color television set that will be as important to viewers as new supersonic airplanes are to air travelers. From Magnabox comes a revolutionary achievement that solves the problem of annoying color variations in color TV. It's Total Automatic Color TV. Total Automatic Color from Magnabox makes tuning of color TV so simple a child can tune it perfectly. Total Automatic Color from Magnabox eliminates annoying color variations and the need for bothersome picture adjustments of tuning. Magnabox now lets you select the flesh tone colors most pleasing to you and keeps them that way in every picture from every program on any channel or network. Just set it once and forget it. No variance of colors from program to commercial, from program to program, or from channel to channel. See the complete line of Magnabox Color TVs. Now with Total Automatic Color at Christown TV in the Christown Shopping Center, 19th Avenue and West Bethany Home Road. Christown TV and Magnabox, a colorful combination.
Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Taking care of your car is the prime concern of the trained technicians at Encanto Shell Service, 1342 West Thomas Road, Phoenix, where you could use your Arizona Bank America card.
KDAR Phoenix.
Bottom of the 6th inning, and Willie Corbett is jammed and pops one into shallow center. Pena goes out with Arcia, and it's Arcia making the catch for the out. So Corbett pops up, one away, and Bill Sudeikis will be the batter. Giants failed to score in the bottom of the 6th inning. One of the big reasons, Willie Mays hit into another double play. He's hit into 2. So at the end of 6 at Candlestick, it is 1-0 San Francisco. That's a tough one. Jerry Arrigo pitching his best game of the year so far, but Juan Marichal out-pitching him. Here's Sudeikis. With runners at first and second and nobody out in the 4th inning, they let Sudeikis swing, and he flied to deep right. He looks at a slow curve low, ball 1. On deck, Tom Haller. Ray Lamb throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Sudeikis waiting. Santorini into the windup and delivers. Fastball away. Ball 2. 2-0. The Dodgers have not scored more than 2 runs since the last home game they played. And here they are hung on 2 right now, and that's not enough. They're trailing 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Santorini into the windup and delivers. And there's a line drive down the right field line. It's in there for a base hit. Hits the railing of the box seat and rolls away. That gives Sudeikis a triple. He's on his way for 3, and he's got it standing. Ollie Brown charged that ball right at the railing of the box seat, and that was not a very good play to make when you're leading by a run. So he gambled, and when the gamble failed, he gave Sudeikis an additional base. At best, he should have had a double, but the ball hit the box seat railing and then hugged it and rolled all the way beyond and past the gate.
And by the time Ollie ran it down, Sudeikis had a triple. So a one-out triple by Sudeikis, and they'll go to the bullpen. Gary Ross will be brought in to pitch to Tommy Hallard. Santorini has to come out. He can't lose. He could win or have nothing to do with the game. So Al Santorini comes out in favor of Gary Ross. 1 out, 6th inning. The Padres 3 runs, 4 hits. The Dodgers 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. They have a lot of time, a lot of scores, and some other information. Let's spend it with Jerry.
All right, Vinny, 3 more portrait days at Dodger Stadium. Complete your collection of these great Nicholas Volpe portraits of your Dodgers. A free portrait of Bill Sudeikis to all attend the September 15th game with the Reds. A free portrait of Don Drysdale for all who attend his day, Saturday afternoon, September 27th. And a free portrait of Claude Osteen to all fans of the game on September 30th. Say, if you'd like to participate in some way on Don Drysdale Day, contact the chairman of the event, Jack Gilardi, Creative Management Associates in Beverly Hills. Remember the date. Let's make it a big one. One that Big D will never forget. Saturday, September the 27th, the Dodgers and the Giants. A great day. They're in the 7th inning at Candlestick Park, and the Giants lead the Reds 1-0. Other finals. Atlanta beat Houston 4-3. The Cubs snapped an 8-game losing streak and beat the Cardinals 5-1. The Amazing Mets won a doubleheader from the Pirates 1-0, 1-0. And Montreal beat Philadelphia 4-0. American League Finals. Minnesota beat Kansas City 3-0. Oakland over Chicago 12-4. Baltimore beat Cleveland 2-1. Washington beat Detroit 4-3. Yankees 5-3 over Boston in the first game. Boston the second game 4-3. Seattle beat the Angels 4-1 in the first game. No score, second inning of the second game. All right, we're about set to go back to play, and here's Vince.
The Dodgers know all about Gary Ross. He's the boy who picked up in the first game in San Diego when Dick Kelly came up with a sore left shoulder. Ross came in and just threw BBs and pitched a great game to win it. Gary's record is only 3-11, but he might very well be head and head with Al Santorini and Clay Kirby, those 3 top right arms on the San Diego squad. They're fine pitchers. So Ross, who throws hard, will be pitching to Haller with 1 out and Sudeikis at third. He comes from a stretch, and the fastball is outside. Ball 1. Gary Ross wears glasses. 3-2 San Diego. Sudeikis at third, 1 away. The 1-0 pitch to Haller. Outside, ball 2. Timeout now while Pryor cleans off home plate. 2 balls and no strikes to Tommy Haller, trying to pick up Sudeikis. Sudeikis coming up with his 5th triple of the year. Ross at the belt, and the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, 2-1. Tom back up to the plate. 2-1 the count. Ross ready, and the pitch to Haller. Outside, ball 3. 3-1. Dodgers were retired in order only in the 3rd inning. They've had a man on in every inning but the 3rd. But they're trailing 3-2 in the 6th. Ross making his 3-1 pitch. Haller takes ball 4. Ted Sizemore is 0 for 2. He grounded out in the 2nd inning, and then with the bases loaded, banged into a double play in the 4th. So Ted Sizemore with Haller at first, Sudeikis at third, 1 out in the 6th inning, and the Padres leading 3-2. At the end of 6th at Candlestick, the Giants and Juan Marichal won. The Reds and Jerry Arrigo, nothing. Marichal trying to win his 18th. Gary Ross, hands on his knees, straightens up now after picking up a sign. The pitch to Sizemore, low, ball 1. Santorini went 5 1/3. Gary Ross picking up for him here. Now the 1-0 pitch. Sizemore looks. It's low again. Ball 2. Roger Craig gestures to Canizero, go out to him, and the catcher walks out to the mound. The Reds in the 7th inning fail to score. So at the end of 6.5 innings at Candlestick, the Giants still holding on to a 1-0 lead. 2-0 to Ted Sizemore. 3-2 San Diego. Bottom of the 6th, 1 away. Ross at the belt. Checks, delivers, and is a ground ball up the middle. Pena can't get it. The run is over. Haller will stop at second, and they're all even at 3 apiece. The ball was not hit that hard. Sizemore was just able to roll it through. Pena, who was shading him towards the hole, tried to come back to get it, but couldn't do it. And the ball died out on the grass, and Morales hustled in to keep Haller at second base. So that means Santorini has nothing to do with the game. Sudeikis, who scored, belongs to Santorini, and now Ross is on his own. 3-3 in the 6th. Bill Singer called away for a moment, and Walter Olson talking to him. The immediate thought, of course, is, well, Singer's going to bunt. However, Olson talking with him, so it's more than just a bunt. He might even have Bill take a swipe at one. We'll see. Jack Balshin, the right-hander, Dave Roberts, the left-hander, throwing in the San Diego bullpen. And here is Singer, choking on the bat. Colbert in on the grass at first. Kelly near the bag at third. Ross set. Singer to bunt, and does. Colbert barehands it, throws to third for 1, and that's all. So they get the force play easily from Nate Colbert to Van Kelly, 3-5. Sizemore at second, and with 2 outs, the batter will be Maury Wills. Three tie with 2 out in the 6th inning. Wills scored what was then the tying run in the 5th inning. He's 2 for 3. Now Maury trying to pick somebody up. Wills has hit safely in 12 straight. He has had 2 or more hits in 9 of those 12 games. Ross ready, checking, delivers, and it's low. A nice save by Canizero. 3-3 tie, bottom of the 6th. Dodgers 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The Padres 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. 1 home run, that's by Nate Colbert. Dodgers have had a triple by Bill Sudeikis. The 1-0 pitch to Wills, outside, ball 2. The count of Maury Wills. Ross checking. The outfield around the left on Wills. They don't figure him to pull Ross. The 2-0 pitch taken for a strike. 2-1. Wills has played in 87 games as a Dodger. In 38 of those games, he's had 2 or more hits. Now the 2-1 pitch. He has 2 hits tonight. Big bounce it down to shortstop. Up with it, Pena. Goes to Arcia for the force on Singer, and the inning is over. The Dodgers get a run on 2 hits and leave 2, and at the end of 6, Padres 3, Dodgers 3.
Hey, Dick Landy, who do you look up to when you're going for those low street eliminator ETs?
I look up to the Christmas tree. When my timing is right off the line, I figure I'll get the drop on anybody in the other lane.
Hey, Dick Landy, who do you look up to for a gasoline for your passenger car?
I look up to 76. Royal 76 Premium is exactly the same powerful gasoline I use for racing.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76 for
Look up to 76 for Royal 76 Premium when you're looking for high performance in your own car. Union 76 has won more races in the West than any other brand. Shouldn't Royal 76 Premium be your brand?
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
Through 6 innings here at Dodger Stadium, the Dodgers 3 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. The Padres 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. It's Bill Singer and Gary Ross battling it out. Don't forget, they're after each other tomorrow night and again Sunday afternoon. The Reds will be here Monday night for a single game, for a twilight night doubleheader on Tuesday, and then the Braves to finish it off Wednesday and Thursday night. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you out here at Dodger Stadium. Let's get to the 7th, all even at 3 apiece. And for more play, here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny, and Jerry Morales will be the batter. He hit a double to drive in a run and scored a run in the 2nd inning. Right-hand hitter waiting, and Singer's pitch to him is a curve for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Morales backed away a little bit. He went down his last time up on a fastball. Morales, Canizero, and Ross here in the 7th. Singer ready in the pitch. Fastball is low and away. Ball 1, 1-1. The Dodgers 1 at a time in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. The Padres 2 in the 2nd and 1 in the 6th inning. That one a home run by Colbert. Curve low for ball. 2-1 now. 2 balls and a strike to Morales, batting 7th in the order. Bill Singer into the windup now, and the pitch on the way to him. A swing and a miss at a hard one. Strike 2. 2-2 is the count. The Dodgers have beaten San Diego 5 out of 6 here, but in San Diego they have lost 5 of the 9 played there. The Giants go out in order in the 7th inning, so that ball game rolling along at Candlestick. The pitch is just outside, ball 3. Singer thought he had him struck out. So they've got a real duel going in Candlestick. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Morales down on strikes, and for Singer, strikeout number 5. The game at Candlestick now is in the 8th inning. Arrigo against Marisol, 1-0. The Giants scored a run in the 2nd inning, and Lanier drove it in. A walk, a wild pitch, an intentional walk, and a single by Lanier got the run. So that one stands 1-0. The Mets won a doubleheader from the Pirates 1-0 and 1-0. Atlanta beat Houston 4-3. So we've got a lot of one-run games going. There's a curve strike to Canizero, 0-1. A squeeze bunt by Chris in the 2nd inning got in the 2nd run for the Padres. There have been some lopsided games in this series with the Dodgers and the Padres, but there have also been some very close ball games. Now the windup and the pitch on the way to Canizero. Popped up on the first baseline. Coming in for it is Crawford. Going across the line now in foul territory, Parker. And West makes the catch. So Canizero fouls out to Parker down the first baseline. 2 away, and here's Gary Ross, the pitcher, coming up. Ross at bat for his first time. Al Santorini worked 5 in the 3rd innings, yielded 3 runs and 8 hits, and Al pitched well. He gave way to Ross in the 6th inning. And now Ross is the batter. Right-hander waiting. Ross wearing number 33. The windup and the pitch on the way. Swung on it. Missed. Strike 1. A fastball. 0-1 the count. Now the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. 0-2. In the game at San Francisco, Arrigo has allowed 2 hits and trails 1-0, and I think that Marisol's allowed just 1. That's right. So they've got quite a game going there. Ross takes low. Ball 1, strike 2 to Gary Ross. So the Reds and the Giants meeting head on while the Dodgers play San Diego and Houston is playing in Atlanta, and that game is over. Atlanta won it 4-3. Ron Stone, the winner, hit a home run to win it. Foul, back to the wire, still 1-2. When Stone hit his home run, it didn't look like the winning run. Came in the 7th inning with 1 on and made the score 4-0. But Houston then came back in the 8th inning and scored 3 times. Here's the 1-2 pitch now on the way to Ross. Strike three, struck him out. Fastball called. Strikeout number 6 for Singer. And we'll go along to the bottom of the 7th in a few moments. The score at the end of 6 1/2. Dodgers 3, the Padres 3.
You know, friends, when you think back, some of the things you used to do seem like more fun than the things you do now. Like dating when you both only had enough money for a hamburger and maybe a walk in the park. Remember the beer you used to drink? Seems like it tasted so good you just couldn't get enough of it. But maybe you haven't tried a nice, cold, comfortable Bergie lately. That's the kind of beer Bergie is. Soft water brewed to taste comfortable and drink comfortable glass after glass. The good, comfortable, right now taste of Bergie is better than your memory.
A bright day, so comfortable, just right for a comfortable beer. Bright day, Bergie day, it's a comfortable time of year.
We go along to the last of the 7th inning. Crowd standing for the 7th inning stretch, and the Dodgers come on with Mota, Davis, and Parker. All right, Manny Mota coming on. Mota has grounded out 3 times tonight. All right, Mota at bat now facing Gary Ross. Ball game even 3-3. The pitch on the way to Manny is inside with a fastball. Willie Davis on deck. The Dodgers have 3 runs, 9 hits, and the Padres 3 runs and 4 hits. The 1-0 pitch to Manny comes low, ball 2, 2-0. Mota batting .326 at the start. Willie Davis on deck has had 2 hits tonight to raise his average up. He started out at .316. Manny's left elbow is still very painful. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way to him. Taking a strike, 2-1. With that sore left elbow, he can't swing properly, but he's hanging in there. He doesn't want to get out of the lineup now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Looped along the right field line. Ollie Brown coming over and has it near the line for the out. So Mota out on a fly ball into right field near the line, 1 away, and the batter will be Willie Davis. Willie grounded out, then beat out an infield hit and singled to right to drive in a run. So Willie D, 2 for 3 coming on now. All right, Davis waiting. Ross into the windup, and the pitch is a fastball outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strike. Ross delivers again, and Davis swings and hits it off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was Ross who stopped Willie Davis on the 31-game streak. Kelly got Willie out the first inning, and then Ross retired him 3 times in a row. Half swing is checked up, and it's too high, ball 2, 2-1. The Reds go down in the 8th, and Marichal is on his game, a 1-hitter, singled by Tommy Helms. Arrigo has pitched a 2-hitter. A 2-1 count now to Willie Davis. The swing of the fly ball to right field and deep. Backcourt goes Ollie Brown, still going back. At the wall, leaps up, and it's gone. Caught by Brown against the fence. Brown went as high as he could, and it looked like it was out of here, and he brought it down. So Willie Davis misses a home run by about a foot. Ollie just stood there like a statue and caught it. So Ollie Brown goes to the fence, stands straight up against the board, had his arm up as high as he could. He didn't jump, but he caught the ball. Corey's arm went up, started to go around and stopped, and then we knew that Brown had caught it as Ollie fired it back in. So Willie came close, pitched to Parker as a strike, 0-1. So Willie Davis shook him up here for a minute, almost nailed him. Pitch is on the corner for strike 2 to Parker, 0-2. West has one hit, a single in the fourth, grounded out twice. So West trying to get the batting stroke back. The attendance tonight is 17,818. 0-2 the count. Low outside to the next pitch. Ball 1, strike 2. Brown was pretty nonchalant on that one. He went right to the wall, backed up to the fence, stood up, put his arm up, and boom, he had it. Here's the pitch. Bounce to the left side. Kelly knocks it down and can't play it. Parker is on. The ball took a bad hop. And Parker is on at first base. It'll be an error on the third baseman. So Parker draws life on Kelly's error. That's the first miscue for San Diego in the game. For a strike, 0-1. So Willie Davis shook him up here for a minute, almost nailed him. Pitch is on the corner for strike 2 to Parker, 0-2. West has one hit, a single in the fourth, grounded out twice. So West trying to get the batting stroke back. The attendance tonight is 17,818. 0-2 the count. Low outside to the next pitch. Ball 1, strike 2. Brown was pretty nonchalant on that one. He went right to the wall, backed up to the fence, stood up, put his arm up, and boom, he had it. Here's the pitch. Bounce to the left side. Kelly knocks it down and can't play it. Parker is on. The ball took a bad hop. And Parker is on at first base. It'll be an error on the third baseman. So Parker draws life on Kelly's error. That's the first miscue for San Diego in the game. Here's the pitch for a strike, 0-1. The count now. Pitch to Crawford. Ground ball is right back to Ross. Smothers it. Comes up and throws to first in time for the out to retire the side. No runs, no hits, one error, and one left on. And the score at the end of 7 innings of play, Padres 3 and the Dodgers 3.
Say, you know, you can count on Parmesan sausage scoring in both the top half and the bottom half of your daily menu planning. Or to put it another way, Parmesan sausage is not only the West's best breakfast, but it makes a mighty fine supper, too. Parmesan makes his sausage with all the best meat, not just the trimming. And he makes it to an old-time Western recipe with only natural herbs and spices. So there's a wonderful Western flavor in every marvelous meaty morsel. It's made from fresh Eastern corn-fed pork, brought out here live, then U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Well, that's why Parmesan sausage is always rosy fresh, never gray-looking like sausage shipped in frozen in cold storage. Boy, one day soon, give your family lean, juicy Parmesan sausage for breakfast or for supper. It's the sausage that won the gold medal at the California State Fair. You know what? You're going to agree with us. It's easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
Here's Danny Goodman's Stretch Drive bargain special and souvenir. Send $1, your name and address, and get 6 8x10 color photos of Dodger players, a Dodger racket foot, bat keychain, and the Dodgers' 1969 yearbook. Send request to the souvenir department at Dodger Stadium, and $1 gets your souvenirs. Our ball game is tied up at 3-3. The Padres and the Dodgers. 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the San Diego Padres. All right, let's back to play. Here's Vince.
All right, Jerry, through 7, a 3-3 tie. Jose Arcia, followed by Roberto Pena and then Ollie Brown. And Bill Singer, ready to go to work. He's allowed only 4 hits. The Dodgers have had 9 hits, and they're even at 3 apiece. The pitch to Arcia, over at first strike, 0-1. Singer checking into the windup and the strike 1 pitch. Breaking ball pulled and off the glove of Sudeikis, backed up by Wills, but he has no play. Sudeikis was playing on the grass, tried to go to his left and couldn't make the play. It'll be a base hit. That will be hit number 5 for San Diego, and it brings up Roberto Pena, who is fly to right, single to center, and fouled out. 1 for 3. On deck, Ollie Brown. Singer turns and lobs a throw to first to keep Arcia tied up. Jose is the leading base stealer for San Diego. He has stolen 11. Pena around to bunt, fouls it away. Pena is a very good man to use in a play. The one thing Pena does not do is strike out. He becomes very valuable in a game like this. To give you an idea, he strikes out about 12% of the time, which would make him a very tough man. So they play a lot of hit and run with him and bunt. He's around to bunt, takes low, 1-1. Twice in the 4-game series in San Diego, it was Pena who had a big hit and run play and a run and hit play. And each time it was the play that broke the ballgame open and led to San Diego's victory. He doesn't have a big average, but the 240 average doesn't fool you. He's a good hitter. The 1-1 pitch. He bunts. Down to get it, Parker. It's on the chalk, and it goes just foul. And West picks it up. So Pena will come back and try it again. 1-2 the count, and Wally Moon pats him on the back. Singer tonight is much more on the strikeout beam than he has been in a while. He's had 6 strikeouts in 7 innings. Now he has 2 strikes on Pena. So Roberto has a look at Sparky Anderson and goes back to the box. Arcia held on by Parker. 3-3 in the 8th. Singer ready. Checks and the pitch to Pena. Flash foul off first base upstairs. San Diego scored twice in the 2nd inning. The Dodgers got 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th to tie. San Diego got a run in the 6th on Nate Colbert's 21st home run of the year, and the Dodgers came back to tie it in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2 pitch to Pena. Fastball grounded down to Sizemore. He goes to Wills. Morey back to Parker, not in time. Boy, Jose Arcia was stretched beyond second base. He almost came out of his uniform trying to break up the double play. Tommy Dean will now run for Roberto Pena, and we'll pause the station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Get Family Entertainment Center's fine workmanship and good service after the sale from Monk Stereo Sound Systems, 2812 East Thomas Road, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank America card.
KTAR Phoenix.
The batter, Ollie Brown. Ollie hit a shot that almost took the right shoe off Bill Singer's foot in the 1st inning. He walked in the 3rd, popped up in the 6th. Singer ready, delivers, and Brown swings and misses. Boy, he had a rip at it. 0-1. Ollie has had a sore back when he went high in the air, as Jerry pointed out, to one-hand that drive up against the right field wall. He suddenly dropped his arms to his side and lowered his head.
Here's the strike one pitch, Ollie, low, 1-1. If you had had a camera trained on him at that particular moment, you'd have been positive that it was a broken-hearted and dejected outfielder who failed to catch a home run. That's the way he appeared. And then suddenly, he flipped the ball back to the infield. The next one to Brown, a strike, 1-2. Up at Candlestick in the bottom of the eighth inning, the Giants leading 1-0. Marichal opened up with a single. He got to second base on a wild pitch, and with 2 out, Johnny Bench picked him off second base. Brown fouls it away, still 1-2. So with Ron Hunt, no, it was Willie Mays at the plate. Mays at the plate and Marichal at second. Johnny Bench nailed him, throwing to shortstop Woodward. So the Giants failed to score in the eighth. And at the end of 8, it remains Giants 1, Cincinnati nothing. If the Giants beat Cincinnati, Atlanta goes into first place. 1-2 pitch to Brown. Breaking ball, got him looking. Strike 3 call. Ollie angry, and lets Pryor know about it as he walks away. Seven strikeouts for Bill Singer. Here's Al Ferrara. Ferrara had the key out so far. He would have really scrambled the ball game. In the third inning, with the Padres leading 2-0 and 2 on, he sent Mota to the bullpen gate in left field for his long out. Ferrara waiting. Now Singer ready and delivers, and the pitch down and away, ball 1. Two down here in the eighth, a 3-3 tie. The Dodgers will have Sudeikis, Haller, and Sizemore in the bottom half of the inning. The pitch to Ferrara, breaking ball low, ball 2. Tommy Dean at first base, running for Roberto Pena. Ferrara at the plate and Nate Colbert on deck. They're in the ninth inning at Candlestick with the Giants leading 1-0. Juan Marichal has allowed only 1 hit. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ferrara takes a strike. Two and 1. The count to Al Ferrara. Singer straightens up, looks at Dean, works Ferrara, and it's fouled away, off to the right, out of play. 2-2. San Diego and the Dodgers. The first game of the 3-game series. The only hit that Marichal has allowed through 8 innings at Candlestick was a line drive base hit by Tommy Helms, opening up the 3rd inning. And Marichal is now pitching the 9th, leading 1-0. Throw to first, Dean back to the bag. 2-2, the count to Al Ferrara. Bill Singer, right foot on the rubber. Haller sets the target, and the 2-2 pitch to Ferrara. Fastball fouled away. Hits the press box facade and bounces down below. The Braves won. The Giants are winning. Houston lost, and the Dodgers are tied. The Mets won a doubleheader, and the Cubs won over in the East. The Mets doubleheader, a remarkable feat. To beat Pittsburgh, shut them out twice in Pittsburgh by the identical scores of 1-0. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Ferrara. Fastball hit to Wills. Morey goes the short way to Sizemore for the force on Dean, and that's that. No runs, a hit, a man left. The end of 7 1/2, a 3-3 tie.
Camper headquarters in the Valley is Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, just north of Thomas Road. Camp West, featuring 2 outstanding lines of quality campers, Tramper Camper and Travette, and 75 different models to choose from. They've got a camper to suit your needs, your budget, with prices starting as low as $189. Both Tramper Camper and Travette feature a lifetime warranty for as long as you own the camper. See Tramper Camper with all the luxury of more expensive campers. And Travette, the Cadillac of campers. And you do-it-yourselfers, you'll find everything you need to build your camper at Camp West. Aluminum skins and windows, ice boxes, stoves, water pumps, water pressure systems. You name it, if they don't have it, they'll get it for you. And remember, for quality, price, and service, see Camp West Industries. Easy to get to from anywhere in the Valley. They're at 2802 Grand Avenue, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. Remember, before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer.
Bottom of the 8th inning, a 3-3 tie. We get the report out of Candlestick that the Giants beat Cincinnati 1-0. Boy, we've had a rash of those all of a sudden. The Dodgers beat Houston last night 1-0. The Mets beat Pittsburgh twice today, 1-0. And the Giants knock off Cincinnati tonight, 1-0. All right, bottom of the 8th. Sudeikis, Haller, and Sizemore. Ross into the windup, and the first one is swung on and missed, 0-1. Sudeikis had an infield single in the second inning, slide to right, and in the 6th inning, tripled into the right field corner. That was all for Santorini, and then he scored on a single by Sizemore to tie up the game. Sudeikis takes down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sudeikis waiting. Gary Ross into the windup. And the pitch low and inside. Ball 2. 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way to Bill Sudeikis. A broken bat, looper to right field. Arcia going out and backhands it. Oh, what a play. Jose Arcia made a fine play on a broken bat blooper into right field. Big, rangy second baseman covers a lot of territory, and he can twist and turn that frame of his like a good basketball player. And he backhanded the ball to take a hit away from Suds. 1 away. Tom Haller has hit back to the box and walked twice. Ross delivers, and the pitch inside under the elbows. Ball 1. Big play by Arcia on the leadoff man in the 8th inning. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Haller out in front of a slow curve. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Haller takes a strike. 1-2. Ross checking again with Canizaro. Now Gary into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch, fastball low, ball 2. 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Ground foul outside of third and down the line. Gary Ross picked up for Santorini in the 6th inning when he came in to pitch to Haller, and he walked him. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Haller strikes out, 2 down, and the batter will be Ted Sizemore. And Haller stops to talk to Sizemore. before Ted goes to the plate. Sizemore grounded out, hit into a double play, and singled in the tying run in the 6th inning. By the way, when San Diego hits in the 9th, they have Colbert, Kelly, and Morales. Sizemore lifted foul off first, slicing down the line and out of play. Colbert goes over to the auxiliary scoreboard, but it's back in by a row. 0-1. Sizemore waiting, no balls, 1 strike. Ross into the windup, and the fastball fouls straight back. 0-2. Gary, both feet on the rubber, checking signs. Sizemore waiting, and the strike 2 pitch on the way. Bouncer over the mound, back at second base. Backhanded by Arcia, but he has no play. So Ted Sizemore comes up with his second hit. He's 2 for 4. And the batter will be Bill Singer. That might not appear to be an important hit, but it really is. It gets Singer up there in the 8th inning, and it gets him out of the way for the 9th. So that if Singer makes out to end the inning, and the figures show that the odds are he will, the Dodgers in the 9th will have Wills leading off. All right, 2 out in the 8th, a 3-3 tie. A throw to first, Sizemore back to the bag. Singer has slid to right and struck out and hit into a fourth play trying to sacrifice. Still 0 for 3. Sizemore rarely steals a pitch low. The odds are he would not try it with a pitcher at the plate. But his percentage of success is very good. Ted has stolen 5 out of 6. One and 0, the count to Bill Singer. Ross delivers. Bill takes low. Ball 2. Now the 2-0 pitch to Singer. A strike. 2-1. Bill backs out as a look at third base coach Danny Ozark. Sizemore short lead at first. Colbert holding. 2-1 pitch to Singer. Ground ball. It's going to go through. Base hit. Sizemore is going to take the extra base and will do it. So now Singer comes up with a most important hit, sending Sizemore to third. Singer, who was hitting less than 100, gets a base hit, and Maury Wills has a chance to put the Dodgers out in front. So 2 hits here in the 8th inning. Run is at first and third. 2 out, and here is Wills. So that hit by Sizemore, which allowed Singer to get to the plate. And now Singer comes up with a rare hit to let Wills come up. So this has turned out to be a big moment for the Dodgers, as Wills, who is 2 for 4, has a chance to break the tie. Maury singled and grounded out, singled and hit into a fourth play. Ross up on top, set at the belt. There's a drive into left center. Base hit. Sizemore scores. Singer to second base. And the Dodgers lead 4-3. comes up with his third hit, a line drive base hit to cash in Sizemore. So with 2 outs, 3 consecutive hits by Sizemore, Singer, and now Wills. The Dodgers leading 4-3. They have a dozen hits. And the batter, Manny Mota. Mota is 0 for 3. Ross Ruddy delivers. Swung on and missed, and down on his knees on home plate is Mota. How hard he swung at that one. 0-1 the count. The count to Manny Mota. Singer at second, Wills at first, 2 out in the 8th, 4-3 Dodgers. Mota trying to make it an even bigger inning. And now Manny, tired of waiting, backed out. So that old story about from little acorns, large oak trees grow. Well, the Dodgers with 2 out in the 8th, with the 8th and 9th hitters coming up, have proceeded to take the lead. Sizemore singles, but of course that's not news. He came into the game hitting .274. Bill Singer had 9 hits all year when he singled. And then Wills came up with his third hit for the run. So it is 4-3 Dodgers, 2 out in the 8th inning. Mota trying to pick up Singer, who is wearing a glove to keep that right hand warm. He's always had circulation problems with the right hand. Mota waiting. Strike 1 pitch. In the dirt. A throw down to first. Not in time. Canizero loves to throw. And he throws well. Willie Davis on deck. Dodgers 4, Padres 3, 2 out in the 8th inning. Now Ross at the belt and delivers. Breaking ball over. Good slow curve, and the count 1-2. Singer away from second base. The Dodgers trying to keep pace. The Giants won. Atlanta won. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Mota. Down and away. Backhanded by Canizero. Ball 2. 2-2. Arcia trying to bird dog Singer a little bit. Wills with Colbert deep, taking a pretty good lead, but he doesn't have anywhere to go with Singer in front of him. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Mota. Low, ball 3. So the Dodgers get an offensive edge now. They can turn the runners loose. So Singer will be going under a full head of steam along with Wills when Ross makes his pitch. $17,818 out here tonight. Hope you'll be with us tomorrow night. It's ladies' night. The runners go. Mota hits one up the middle. Base hit. Singer will score. Wills to third. 5-3 Dodgers. So 4 consecutive singles with 2 out in the 8th inning, and the Dodgers have broken the tie and lead 5-3. Preston Gomez to the mound, and that will be all for Gary Ross. Jack Balshin is down in the bullpen, but he is going to warm up. And we'll see who comes in. We know one thing, Gary Ross is going out. Billy McCool. So left-hander Billy McCool will be brought in from the San Diego bullpen. We told you earlier that Maury Wills has extended his hitting streak. He has hit safely in 12 straight, and that he has had 2 or more hits in 9 of those 12 games. Well, during that streak, he's hitting .434, and he has 3 hits tonight. So Billy McCool coming in for Gary Ross. He'll be pitching to Willie Davis. So Billy McCool, a left-hander, coming out of the San Diego bullpen. There'll be runners at first and third. Maury Wills at third. Manny Mota at first. Here in the inning, Sudeikis popped out and Haller struck out, and then it started. Sizemore singled up the middle, and Bill Singer singled up the middle. Maury Wills singled to center. Manny Mota singled to center. Here's the announcement on McCool.
For the Padres, number 42, Billy McCool.
So Billy McCool getting ready. Willie Davis will be facing him with Mota at first and Wills at third. Don't forget, during this homestand, and every ball game is so important. Tomorrow night, the same two ball clubs, and again Sunday afternoon. The Cincinnati Reds will be in Monday night, and then a twilight night doubleheader Tuesday evening, followed by the Atlanta Braves Wednesday and Thursday night. Then the Dodgers will go out on the road, go to San Francisco and Cincinnati, and come home for the final series of the year against the Giants and the Astros. And on the 27th of September, that will be Don Drysdale Day here at the ballpark. So this is going to be a dandy right down to the wire, and we sure hope you'll be out here enjoying all the fun with us. Willie Davis will be the batter against left-hander Billy McCool. Davis is 2 for 4 tonight. Dodgers have scored 5 runs and 13 hits, so they have come alive with the bat as soon as they get home after a very quiet road trip. McCool at the belt. Billy checks the runners. The pitch to Willie is a strike. McCool is 3 and 5 with the lead. Marichal pitched a one-hitter to shut out the Reds. So Marichal, Osteen, and Ferguson Jenkins all have 7 shutouts this year. Here's the strike one pitch to Davis. Swung on and missed. The bat goes to Gilliam, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Count to Willie Davis. And 2. So Cincinnati started the day in first place. They have been knocked out of it, which means first place in the Western Division has changed 12 times since the All-Star game and 22 times this year. Davis waiting 0-2. McCool at the belt has a look at his runners. Now the strike 2 pitch to Willie. With Mota going, it's swung on and missed strike 3. So Davis strikes out, but the damage done. The Dodgers get 2 runs, 4 hits, leave 2, and at the end of 8. Dodgers 5, Padres 3.
Look up for the brightest when you travel the West. Look up to 76. Keep your eye on the number that's above all the rest. Look up to 76.
Look up to 76 for Royal 76 Premium. Blended from the same components the champions get in Royal 76 racing gasoline. Royal 76 has won more races in the West than any other brand. And what 76 learns from experience at the raceway, they pass on to you in dependability on the freeway. Next time you need a tank full, pull into your Union 76 dealer and top up with Royal 76 Premium.
Looking for someone to look after you. Look up to 76.
Bill Singer loosening up to Tommy Haller as we go to the 9th inning. The Dodgers 5 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. The Padres 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. For San Diego, Nate Colbert, Van Kelly, and Jerry Morales.
5 runs, 13 hits. 1 error for the Dodgers, 3-5-1 for San Diego. The last time the Dodgers scored 5 runs in a ball game was right here when they beat the Mets 5-4. That was the last game of our last homestand. Dodgers that night had 5 runs, 12 hits. So they come home and register 5 on 13 hits. Nate Colbert grounded to short, flied to right, and homered. Big right-hand hitting first baseman has 21 home runs, and he takes high, ball 1. One and out to Nate. Singer comes right back to him with a fastball low, ball 2. In the Dodger bullpen, we can see Jim Brewer. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Line drive to left field. Solid base hit for Colbert. Mowed up with the ball, bobbles it, then quickly recovers and gets it in. So Colbert a long single, and the batter will be Van Kelly. Half a dozen hits for the Padres. Van Kelly has walked, popped up, and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. Singer tried to win his 19th tonight. He's lost 9. Bill also trying to complete his 15th game. Kelly, left-hand batter, takes a breaking ball for a strike. The count. Singer ready, and the strike 1 pitch is high, 1-1. For those of you who are interested in the game at the Coliseum in football, Alcorn A&M 16, Grambling 7. That's at the end of 3 quarters. I know there's a great deal of interest about that game. 1-1, the count to Van Kelly. 9th inning, 5-3 Dodgers. Singer looks at first, comes to the plate, missing away. Ball 2, 2-1. The pitch to Van Kelly, low, ball 3. So Singer leading 5-3 in the 9th inning, but struggling a little bit. Bill has struck out 7. Straightens up, and the 3-1 pitch is a high fly ball into left center field. Davis and Mota converging. It will be Davis who one-hands it over Mota's head as he goes by. Like a fella picking an apple off a tree while riding on a horseback. He just seemed to flag it. Let's pause the station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The good sound. KTAR Phoenix.
Jerry Morales coming up. Morales doubled up the alley in right center. Flied to right and struck out. Right-hand batter. On deck is Larry Stahl. Walter Olson, a brief chat with Singer, now turns and goes back to the dugout. Dodgers 5, Padres 3, 1 out in the 9th inning. First game of the 3-game series. The Dodgers trying to keep pace. Atlanta and the Giants won. Cincinnati and Houston lost. The pitch, a strike. Oh, 1 to Morales. Right-hand batter. Colbert takes his lead at first, and Parker not holding. Singer comes to the plate, missing down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Singer ready, and the 1-1 pitch to Jerry Morales is a high fly ball to Willie Davis as he backs up under it now. He's there to handle it in center field. 2 down.
So 2 out in the 9th inning, and Larry Stahl will come up and bat for Chris Cannizzaro.
For the Padres, batting for Cannizzaro, number 14, Larry Stahl.
Larry Stahl, left-hand hitting outfielder, has 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. And Bill Singer, 1 out away from his 15th complete game. Bill delivers, Stahl takes away, ball 1. Osteen has completed 15 of 36. Singer, if he can do it, will have completed 15 out of 35. Each will have won 19. The 1-0 pitch, Stahl takes the strike. 1-1 to Larry Stahl. 2 down, 9th inning, 5-3 Dodgers. Singer at the belt, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. Outside and high, ball 2. Tomorrow night, Jim Bunning goes against Joe Niekro. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Stahl. Swung on and missed, strike 2. In fact, the pitching for the weekend, Jim Bunning and Joe Niekro tomorrow night. Don Sutton and Clay Kirby Sunday afternoon. Two pitch on the way. High, ball 3. On deck, Ed Spezio, right-hand hitter with sock. So Singer would just as soon do the job with Stahl. He's gone all the way, so Colbert ready to leave first base on the pitch. There he goes, and it's high, and so the ball game is still very much alive. For Bill Singer, that would be the 3rd walk he has issued.
For the Padres, batting for McCool.
Now here's the announcement on Spezio.
And Spezio.
Walter Olson is going out to the mound, and he's bringing a hook with him. So the Dodgers will be going to the bullpen, and I would assume they'll bring in Brewer, and that's who it is. So Spezio is called up to hit, and immediately Olson makes his 2nd trip to the mound. That meant that was all for Singer, so he does not get his 15th complete game. Now we'll see about whether Spezio is the batter or not. Ivan Morrell comes out of the dugout. Spezio has been announced as the batter for McCool. And Jim Brewer will be brought in to pitch to him. The Padres led in the ballgame. They scored twice in the 2nd inning. Morales doubled home 1, and Cannizzaro squeezed home Morales. The Dodgers, however, got it back on 3 hits in the 4th inning for a run. Added the tying run in the 5th inning on 2 hits. Each side scored in the 6th inning. Colbert had homered in the 6th. In the bottom half of the 6th, Sudeikis tripled and scored. So it was 3-3 in the 8th inning. And with 2 out in the bottom of the 8th, Sizemore, Singer, Wills, and Mota all singled consecutively. That added 2 and gave the Dodgers the 5-3 lead. Now Jim Brewer and his screwball asked to come in and get Spezio and bring this thing back in the locker room. Spezio, as we mentioned, has sock. He has 13 home runs. And Bill Singer, who goes 8 2/3, gets an ovation as he comes out. Singer got the job done into the 9th inning, and in this day and age, anytime you get that close, you have turned in quite a performance. So Singer leaves with 2 out in the 9th inning, and Jim Brewer is asked to come in and get Ed Spezio. Spezio, formerly with the St. Louis Cardinals, right-hand batter. Average at .240, 13 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Apparently, Spezio will bat, and then Morrell is out on deck to bat for Arcia should the inning be prolonged. Atlanta
beat Houston, so Atlanta will go into first place. The Giants beat Cincinnati, and the Giants will be trailing Atlanta by a half a game in second. Cincinnati will be in third. The Dodgers, if they can hold on to their lead, will be in fourth place, a game and a half back. Houston, the loser, they lost today. They'll be 3.5 back. But right now, the big moment, head-to-head duel between Jim Brewer and pinch hitter Ed Spezio. Left-hander ready and deals. Screwball very high. Ball 1-0. We get a report about Bill Singer, and it shows you what a courageous performance he turned in tonight. Spezio takes a strike, 1-1. Way back in the very first inning, Ollie Brown almost took Bill Singer's right foot off with a shot, and that's why he left. That right ankle had puffed up and was bothering him, and he finally had to come out. So there's a guy who was pitching with a bad ankle and got into the ninth with 2 out before they had to take him out. Screwball, swung on and missed, 1-2. So the pride of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Mr. James Brewer, trying to pop the cork on this one with 2 out, 1-2 to Ed Spezio. Nate Colbert at second. Larry Stahl at first, 2 out. And the screwball way outside and high, ball 2. He certainly doesn't want to work 3-2 to Spezio and then have the potential tying runs in motion. So we'll see what comes now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brew ready, delivers. Screwball got him swinging. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. As Jim Brewer comes in to strike out Spezio with his screwball. The Dodgers win it 5-3. We'll have the totals, the winning and losing pitchers, right after this message. Well, you know, we Americans have many traditions, some large, some so small you probably never think of them unless they're missing. Like, have you ever gone to a movie theater and found they don't have popcorn? Well, it's just not right, is it? You just should have a big box of hot buttered popcorn at the movies. And Thanksgiving certainly wouldn't be Thanksgiving without turkey, cranberries, pumpkin pie. Or if you're camping, what about hot dogs and baked beans and hot dogs at the ballpark, right? Of course, at a baseball game, a man has to have something cold to go with that hot dog. How about a good ice-cold beer? In my way of thinking, that beer's got to be a Bergie. It's as important as that Thanksgiving pumpkin pie, tasting just like Mother used to make. Well, what's so special about Bergie? I guess it's that light, easygoing taste. It's comfortable. So comfortable you can keep on drinking it even if the game goes into extra innings. I guess that's a pretty darn good way to judge a beer. So go ahead, open up a Bergie to go along with the ball game. After all, baseball and Bergie's practically a tradition. In fact, might even put that ahead of Mom's pumpkin pie. The totals on the ball game for the Dodgers: 5 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. For the Padres, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher, Bill Singer, left with 2 out on the ninth because of a sore ankle. He had been hit by a shot off the bat of Ollie Brown in the first inning and went into the ninth before it bothered him to come out. Singer is now 19-9, 2-1 against San Diego. Relief pitcher Gary Ross, who pitched so well to beat the Dodgers in San Diego in the recent series, suffers the defeat, and Ross is now 3-12. The Dodgers keep pace. They remain a game and a half out, but they're still right on the heels of Atlanta, San Francisco, and Cincinnati. Tomorrow night, Jim Bunning and Joe Necro warm up at 7:40, game time at 8, and it's ladies' night, and we sure hope you'll be out here with us. Once again, the final score, Dodgers 5, Padres 3. Now, this has been Scully along with Jerry Doggett, inviting you to stay tuned to the postgame show coming right up.